Alright, so this is going to be the video where I show you guys how to edit and shit. Now, so basically the first thing you want to do is load up Arma, Operation Airhead. Make sure Daisy is turned off, because then you can't do single player. Click on single player, editor, ID turn row, and it's going to give you pretty much a blank friggin' map of turn rows. So, I like the airfield just because it's a nice open area. Now the first thing you want to notice is there's a blank space right here underneath between textures and exit. That'll change here in a second. Textures basically puts the map on the board. So you can see where the road is, tree forests, the towers and shit like that. IDs, you scroll in and it'll show numbers. Now I have no idea what the hell these are for, but that's what IDs does. So the first thing you want to do when you're making any kind of map is you always have to place a player. You just click on units here or click F1 on the keyboard, double click anywhere, and you'll get this little screen. Now blue 4 is the good guys obviously, so we'll just click on blue 4. Everything else you can just leave the same. And you have a little guy. You do want to make sure that this under control is saying player, and that'll be you. Now you notice that the preview button pops up. We'll click on that. And you get a guy. Yay. Now you will always spawn by default with the M16A4. Just by default. So we go to abort, and you come back. Now this is where a little bit of scripting comes into play. Let's say you don't want to spawn with the M16A4. You basically just go in here, initialization. Okay, now what that script does is basically just, as you can read it, removes all weapons, and then this is this unit that we have clicked. And the semicolon ends the script. So now when we do preview, don't do continue, do preview. You notice that I don't have a weapon, click on gear, and it's empty. Now, it's just a basic one. We're going to do a chopper insertion. First thing you want to do is we're going to make a marker. Empty. Go down to regular objects. There we go. And then we're going to do invisible. We don't want to see the marker, but it'll be there. Boom. There it is. And if you look in, you'll see that there's actually no marker visible. Next, we're going to spawn in a chopper. Now, if it's going to be insertion, obviously it's going to be coming from a certain direction. We're going to have it fly from, we won't do too far. Be right here in this field. So again, double click, we're on unit. We're going to go back to blue 4 because we want it to be the good guys. Going to go to class, which is air, and you're going to basically pick one. For this one, let's do the standard Huey, which is the UH-1Y. And you want to put it in flying, and you want to name it. In this case, we're going to name it helicopter. To spin it, kind of like I just did there. You basically click on it, hold down the click, and then hold left shift, and then as you drag, it'll change the way you go. Now the script I just wrote in a helicopter, which is the unit, fly in height 85 meters. So when it spawns in, it'll be flying at 85 meters above ground, wherever it is. Next, you want to set a small waypoint. So first, make sure this is clicked on. and do move. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. Don't have to do anything. Okay, and then next we're gonna put a waypoint here. Just keep it going. We're gonna put in load. Okay, so now that when the chopper gets here, it will know that it needs to load up before it can do anything else. Now, for it to actually drop to the ground, we do want to put another script. So we're going to do on action. Okay, so a couple things we just did there. We're going to do, when it gets there, first thing it'll do is this first script, which is do stop helicopter. Remember, we named it helicopter, it's going to stop it. Next, it'll land, and it'll just say get in. Now, this is supposed to just make the helicopter land and basically keep the engines on. So we're going to test that out first, make sure everything else is set up correctly. Probably should have put it a little closer. But there it is. Really never need to worry about the helicopters crashing because they have a script that's embedded not to crash into anything basically, so. Yeah, see, so something happened. So he's supposed to keep his engines on, but we'll let that go. So that's fine, not gonna worry about that. So next, basically, if we leave it the way it is, he's going to stay there. He's going to load, but he's not going to do anything else because we don't have anything else for him to do. So we're going to say one more. Move. You want to do this next waypoint number 3 is what I like to call it, just because pretty close because he's going to go from here. You want him to go to this direction, and then you can continue on this way. If not, you see where he landed, he was facing this way. He's going to go and then go that way. It's going to take a little longer. So once you get that waypoint set, he should actually land facing that direction because he already knows it's scripted in that he's going to go that direction. Okay, next. Again, another marker for him. This one we'll put down because it's going to be the final landing. Go back to waypoint. Gotta come back to the chop. Again, you gotta always make sure it's active, whatever unit you're trying to set a waypoint for. Unload. On action. Okay, so pretty much the same thing. We typed in land this time because he will shut off his engines. That'll be the last thing he does. And I'll pretty much just sit there until something else happens. Let's test it out. let's do this first because I don't feel like sitting there waiting. I'm sure you guys don't either. We're just going to click and drag the chopper a little closer and the waypoint a little closer. There, yeah. If you remember, I set him to fly 85 meters up. You can always change that. That's not something that's set in stone. You can do 5 meters, 10, 100, 500, doesn't matter. Alright, so he should be turning to our left now. Yep, there we go. Now, I'll probably shut off his engines, yeah, because something's we didn't do or something right there, but again, not concerned about it. But he should jump right up back into the sky as soon as we get in here. Alright, awesome, he does. He's gonna move over that way. And finally land at the other end. Just to kind of show you I'm not flying it, this is all AI. I am in the back seat. See how close he gets to that marker. I don't think it ever says that he has to get inside of it, but apparently he does get pretty close. Okay, so we got that. Now, if you want to do extra players, let other people play in the map, we gotta spawn in more players. So again, we go back to units. And what I like to do is just an easy part. We can literally copy paste my guy here so that any new units we post in will still have the remove all items, or I'm sorry, remove all weapons script that you see there in the little quotations there. So basically, you always want to make sure your cursor is on the player or thing you want to copy. And you see there, I didn't have it on there, that's why they didn't spawn right where I put it, so we're going to delete those. Okay, next is, these are just AIs at the moment. If you want them playable, kind of like the red ring you see there, you gotta double click on them, playable, and preview. And then now we have two AI guys who will just stand there and not really do anything. And then once we load up a multiplayer game, those will be 2 extra slots besides the first one that I'm in currently. When you pull up a multiplayer game, those 2 slots will be open after we disable the AI. And a couple more things really quick. If you wanted to add in your own weapon, you would just basically go to this here again. And that's essentially what that script would look like there. You just basically remove all weapons, add weapon, this, what's going to be on M107. M107 is just because I choose that one because it's the easiest. There's no underscores or anything like that. For example, if you want to do the M4A1 with the camo and the aim reticule, it'll look like this. And then that'll do the basically the M4A1 with the CCO on top of it. That's what that actual code is for that weapon. And that would be it. That's pretty much scripting, and everything else just kind of comes with the territory. But alright, that's it for now. If you guys have any questions, let me know and I'll make another video.